Everybody, welcome back to Spitballin' Cards. Today you got me, Jeff, Chris, and Ty, aka Raptor. The other boys are on assignment. So you've got us today, and today we're going to talk about some recent sales that caught our eye. A lot of interesting sales have been going on. We're about a month out from the National. Things are starting to take shape. Let's talk about some sales from this week. Chris, what do you got to start us off with?
Yeah, I don't know if you guys were paying attention to these big auctions, but the monthly Fanatics premiere just ended a couple days ago, or yesterday, last night, the night before. And as always, there's some huge stuff over there. So we just want to talk about a few cards that kind of caught our eye, or that we thought were somewhat interesting. And we're going to stretch the boundaries of that phrase. But first and foremost, I just when in doubt, we're going to start with a big Ohtani card. This is his Bowman Chrome green pitching refractor auto in a PSA 10. And I was, quite frankly, I don't know, what do you guys think? I was shocked at how low. And again, this isn't real money because none of us were bidding on this. This is a $37,000 baseball card. It feels crazy to say that it was low, but numbered at a 99, this feels like a card that should have sold for more than that, right?
Yeah, going off of what we saw last month, his hitting, Chris, how much did his blue hitting gem go for?
Yeah, that's an excellent point. And yeah, last month at Fanatics Collect, same auction, his blue, numbered out of 150, hitting image in a PSA 10 sold for $81,000. That's more than twice.
Right. And he's done nothing but play well, and he's back on the mound since then. So I thought this would go a little higher. The two things going against it, for what it's worth, are the pitching isn't as desired an image as the hitting, and the green. We've talked about this before, both on Blabbin and Spitball, and the green gives kind of a Christmas vibe for Ohtani, especially with that 2018 design. So I don't know. The green isn't as popular, even though it's more scarce than the blue. What do you think, Ty?
At this point, I feel like there is separation happening between those two. It's been interesting because Scotty ran a poll on his IG story and got like almost 1,000 votes, showing that the hitting was significantly more desired by at least a collector base, ostensibly made up of, mostly baseball people, if they're following Scott. And yet the broader public perception, maybe just for people who don't actually actively pursue baseball cards, is that these two cards may actually be on par with one another. So these prices are making it clearer and clearer in my mind that that's not the case. The green one with the Ohtani, because it's red and green, is a little odd, just like aesthetically. The blue looks much better than the green one does. So that's an added element. But I think we're going to continue to see a certain amount of separation between the batting and the pitching one over time.
Yeah. Just to hop on that point, some people who aren't in the baseball hobby were preferring this one because this one actually came first, and they think, well, first is usually best because this came in the spring Bowman release and not the Bowman Chrome release. So yeah, that's another element that makes it a little surprising to non-baseball people that we're getting that separation.
Right.
Yeah, there's if you guys are Simpsons fans out there, there's a line in the famous Monorail episode where during the song, Bart sings, "Sorry, Mom, the mob has spoken." And I think that is exactly where we are right here. The mob has clearly spoken, and if you want to buy an Ohtani card, it's hitting image or bust, I think, at this point.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty wild. By the way, the last hitting green, I believe, sold last October for $32K. So when you look at that one compared to the blue recently, you just see how much Ohtani's high-end market, especially Bowman Chrome autos, have just continued to go nuclear since then.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Before we get away from Ohtani, I just wanted to bring up one other Ohtani sale. We could talk about a lot of them, but let's talk about. I want to show these. Okay, these three cards.
While you're pulling those up, Jeff, I'm just going to throw out this other Ohtani fact. His Bowman Chrome hitting image in a PSA 10, and I believe the PSA 10, just a base card, non-auto, non-refractor. I think that the pop on that is over 1,000, and the sales are just steadily. I was just checking market movers, steadily $1,200, $1,300 over and over and over again. So that's a high pop rookie, but the image, the fact that it's Bowman Chrome, I don't think that price is coming down anytime soon.
Building a floor in there, right?
Yeah.
Can one of you guys share my screen, please?
Gotcha.
Sure.
Okay, so these cards, these three went in the latest Premier auction, roughly around the same price. 66,000, 66,000, 63,000. Three vastly different segments of the hobby. So we've got the vintage segment represented by the Mickey Mantle 52. We've got the Goodwin Champions, so it's unlicensed, but it is the kanji auto. And the Jack Caglione, it's a pristine 10, 1 of 1. So this was interesting to me because it shows how different people's tastes are in cards, and that there's in all price ranges there's something for everyone. Ty, which card would you take if you had your a hypothetical $65,000 that you had to spend on one of these cards in the auction?
The Ohtani. Of those three, for sure, the Ohtani. The Mantle looks okay. 3 is, we know how expensive those are, and those, by the way, have continued to tick up over the last year, in a pretty healthy way, I would say. But I would still take the Ohtani of those three because I think it's more rare. You can get Mantles. Like, Mantles are always gettable. Whereas that Ohtani, they just don't come up very often, and it's rare to get his kanji auto. So, and Caglione, I saw somebody posted on their IG stories that, right now he looks like Jared Kelenic 2.0. It's early. It's very, very early. But the reality of prospecting in these things is that for some guys, they literally just never figure it out at the pro level. I think Cags is going to be fine, but he might not be. And that's a lot of money to put into a card. And somebody's obviously paying a premium for that BGS 1010,
right?
Which I just think is kind of absurd on a 1 of 1 personally.
And even if he does figure it out, Ty, that's still a healthy price that he's going to have to be very successful to live up to it.
Yeah.
All right, Chris, what are you taking?
I'm struggling with that. I thought that was like the biggest insult you could ever give a baseball player is to call him Jared Kelenic 2.0.
I'm sorry.
That's brutal.
Yeah.
I hypothetically, like, we're not saying he is that, but yeah, it's always possible.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think the Ohtani is definitely the card to choose here. Like Ty said, I mean, those 52 Mantles are incredible. I would love to own one at some point.
Mm-hmm.
I've never even held one. But yeah, I would love to have one, but they are available. You can usually find one for sale if you can afford them. They are out there, but kanji autos for Ohtani just really aren't. And even though that's unlicensed and he's wearing a suit, which is something I generally despise on baseball cards, I think the auto there, it
makes up for it a little bit.
Yeah.
If you guys recall, I took this in when we had our Ohtani card draft, and
a much disputed.
Skepticism. Yeah. But yes, I'll stand by that pick. All right. What do you want to talk about next? Ty, did you want to bring anything up?
I do. Yeah, I have one notable sale I'll share here and get some opinions on. So I'm going to remove you.
Yep.
And let's see. I think it's this one. Nope, wrong one. Sorry, wrong tab. This tab. So this Pete Crow-Armstrong just sold for a pretty penny, $50,400 for his red BGS 9.5. Obviously, he's been an absolute phenom this year, breaking onto the scene. It was interesting to me to see this sale at $35K just a month and a half ago. I don't even know if this is the same copy. 7882 and 7882. So either this went unpaid or somebody just capitalized on this and flipped it immediately, like from one auction to the next. So really good, good profit on that. It's his highest sale now, highest recorded sale. Interesting to kind of compare it to like his Bowman rookie Superfractor. I think most people would still rather have the red, but that got me thinking, what other sales have we seen on the red Bowmans over time? And the insanity that was the market back in 2022. Because
didn't a Vlad go for something outrageous?
552,000, and J-Rod went for 276. And then you see the Sotos even now. So this was the most recent notable sale at 204. So I saw that Pete Crow-Armstrong. I was like, man, that's a lot of money. But then when you look at this Soto, it's like if these guys pan out, and become an upper echelon, like top 3 MVP type candidate caliber player every year, I guess they can go for some pretty big money. Here's the Harper. This is kind of funny seeing back then because that would go for more today. But if I switch this, let's just even say to like this year and see who's done what. Witt did 115,000. So do you guys think the PCA was like an overpay? Do you think it was a good buy? What's your reaction to that?
I would say kudos to the seller for a well-timed, red refractor sale. I mean, again, we're talking about monopoly money here. I would never put that kind of money into Pete Crow-Armstrong.
Yeah, I just think it's too early. He's been great, but the metrics don't necessarily support that. In the same auction, a Witt red shimmer went for 55, so just slightly above it.
Yep.
Would you rather have, for basically the same price, the Witt shimmer out of 5 or the PCA true red out of 5? I mean, what does PCA have to do even just to get to Witt's caliber of play?
Well, I would say this year he has been.
Yeah, this year he has passed Bobby Witt.
Yeah.
Right. But
small sample size. Yeah.
Yeah.
Very small sample size and still half a year to go. I think Witt's warming up a little bit as well.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably, oops, I put the wrong filter in here. Sorry. I was going to actually just compare their stats. I'll share my screen with this year to kind of have that as a visual. So,
geez,
he's having a very good season. In every aspect of the game, he's just doing everything incredibly well. Witt's not having a bad year, I wouldn't say by any stretch, but it's
no, and he's been heating up. His power's been down, but I can't. What are the OPS plus numbers on there?
126 and 140.
Okay, so that's getting a little closer. I mean, Pete Crow-Armstrong's cooled off a little bit, but
I have a serious question here. I don't know the answer. Can Pete Crow-Armstrong play day games? In all seriousness, is that a concern?
He's whiter than I am.
Yeah, is that a long-term concern for the Cubs that he might not be able to play those afternoon?
I see a real potential sunscreen sponsorship deal there.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Yeah, just like under the eyes onto the field.
Yeah,
that's pretty funny. But I don't know. So which card would I rather have? Back to that, the Witt shimmer or the Crow? I don't know. They both look good. If I had that much money to just drop on a card, maybe both.
Right. I mean, in for a penny, I mean,
why not?
Yeah, you definitely want that true red if you can get it.
Yeah,
and a true red of a slightly lesser player.
Yeah,
and I mean, Witt. I think Witt is really priming himself to be the one of the faces of baseball. And
I feel like
out of those two, I would take the Witt shimmer, even though it is a shimmer.
Long term, Witt. Short term, probably the Pete Crow-Armstrong.
Well, you see how much it flipped in 1 month, right?
Yeah, he's going to get some. Yeah, he'll be in the All-Star game, although I assume Witt will probably be in the All-Star game too. But come October, we might get a big Pete Crow-Armstrong moment, and I don't think we're going to get a big Bobby Witt moment.
I don't know. We'll see. The Cubs have been slowing down considerably, and the Brewers are making a little run. So
that they are. Christian Yelich is starting to look like Christian Yelich.
Yes, even Churio had a big game yesterday. So if they can get both those guys hot at the same time, I like my Brewers.
All right, I've got a kid yelling. I'm going to jump out real quick. You guys keep rolling. I'll be right back.
Yep, sounds good. Yeah. Chris, did you have another one you wanted to go to?
Yeah, I actually, we had mentioned briefly sort of the perils of prospecting. Yes. And there was one card in this Fanatics Collect auction that really shouldn't have been in there, right? Jeff and I were talking about this. It did not hit. There's a minimum for this auction.
Yeah, cards in the Premier auction are supposed to be a $10,000 minimum. And there's a couple cards that didn't hit, including this Purple Dominguez, Chris.
Yeah, and this card is just, if you remember, I think it was kind of a famous sale. His Superfractor sold for like over $400,000.
Yes, almost $500,000.
Yeah, and it's just, it's we forget, or we don't, well, we don't fish in these waters, obviously, but like this is a massive gamble when you're buying a young player. And Dominguez he has not taken off this year. I think a lot of a lot of us in fantasy leagues thought that he would break out. A lot of Yankee fans really were hoping for some big numbers, and we're not seeing it. Obviously, he's still young, so let's not call this guy Jared Kelenic. He still has some time to figure it out. But man, oh man, when you see cards like this, just struggle to crack 5K. Was this the cheapest card in the entire auction, Jeff? This was the lowest price.
It was either the lowest
Wow.
or the second lowest, and I'm not sure who cleared that one to be that thought it would reach the $10,000. There was one cheaper, Griffey Jr. 1999 Pacific Omega Electro Optical Portraits.
Jesus, that's a lot of work. That is. I don't.
But back to what we were talking about with other prospects, and he was so hyped coming up. That superfractor sale happened. Now you see stuff like this, and he's struggling. He's gonna have to overperform in order to get his cards back up anywhere near where they were before. That's the other peril of prospecting. If your prospect doesn't go right away, they usually have to do so much to try to get any of that momentum back.
Yeah. And this guy was he was a tough sell window too, because he came up, he homered off Verlander. So I felt like right there, if you had his cards, that was your moment, because then he ended up beating Tommy John surgery, pretty shortly after that. I still remember that card show, Jeff. It was the West Coast card show. There was that murmur going through the crowd when he came up and homered off Verlander in his first at bat. It was, you could feel the energy in the room, and every dealer just ticked up about 20%.
I wonder how many of those cards sold within the hour at that show. But that's a tough sale. That is a tough sale.
Is your window ready to go, Jeff?
Anything else?
Oh.
I just had one last thing to talk about, sort of related to crazy prices. But if you guys have more cards, we can.
I have a couple eBay cards I want to talk about.
Cool.
But we can finish with the Fanatics Collect first if you want.
Let's. Do you have more, Jeff?
No. Let's shift to eBay. I mean,
cool.
There were other high-end sales on there. There were other high Ohtani sales. There was one card. Maybe we should just mention it because it was a card that's rarely seen. I think and Ty might be able to help out with this, but I believe it was his highest sale of a Japanese card. Maybe if one of you guys can share my screen, there it is.
Oh, yeah.
So I don't even know this description. It's a BBM, the NH Fighters Authentic Auto, a 1010. It's out of 22, which seems like a kind of a strange number. I'm not sure why. 18 out of 22. But that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this card, but I do know that on Instagram, I'm friends with a couple Ohtani collectors from Japan, and I got a message from one the night this auction ended, and he asked me, "Did I see this sale?" And he's like, "Do you know what this card is?" I have absolutely no idea. And he's like, he said this sale broke his brain. On our last episode, Ty showed me a Jacob Wilson red refractor that sold for over $30,000. I couldn't create a word for 2 minutes. My brain just was completely shut down. And he said that's what this card did. It's he said this is not a rookie, and it's numbered out of 22. And he's like, he could not figure out what it was about this card that drove 54 bids and a 6-figure asking price. So
the last time this card sold, that I can see, let's see if it's the same number. So this is a 933. Yeah, this actually exact copy, this exact card sold on Golden in March of 2024 for $30,500.
Wow, nice return on that.
That's a bangerang.
Chris, was he suspicious? Did he think it was a suspicious sale? Like maybe somebody's trying to manipulate this market, or was he just?
No, he just didn't get it. He just. I mean, it's a cool Ohtani, but for $100,000, I mean.
Yeah, I don't know too much about the Ohtani market. I know there's a lot. He's got a ton of 2013 cards, the Japanese card market for him. And there's a lot of collectors that go after those. But it seems, for me, it's an extremely confusing situation. So I've just stayed away from that entirely. Mm-hmm. But for this not to even be a 2013 and to be, like you said, a non-rookie from 2017, right before he came over, It's really surprising to see that amount of money being paid.
I have a trivia question for you guys.
Okay.
Do you know what Nippon means? Nippon in the title?
No, but I know that they're the ham fighters, which is pretty great.
Yeah. Nippon means Japan. It's what they call Japan in Japanese.
Oh.
It's the word for Japan.
Okay.
Which is something I admittedly did not know until somewhat recently. I saw it all over the place, but like obviously different countries call themselves like by their own, like Germany calls itself Deutschland, not Germany.
Sure.
So we call it Japan, but it's actually Nippon in Japan.
So I just thought it was the name of maybe a city in Japan that the ham fighters played out of.
Hokkaido is an island and Nippon is Japan. So that's what so then I think ham is like the company that owns them.
Yeah.
This is weird.
Well, I learned
something new today.
There we go.
Yeah.
So now when you say Nippon, you don't have to think about any perky body parts. You can just think of Japan.
Japan.
I prefer to think of the body parts though, personally. Okay. There were some cool sales on eBay last week. I just wanted to touch on in another price range, though, perhaps a more realistic price range for both us and our viewers. So this Juan Soto is a card that I was watching. Jeff, I'm sorry. Feel free to look away.
Memories.
This card is incredible to me. And by the way, Juan Soto's June I think he's having one of the best months in Mets history this month. One of you guys want to pull up his numbers and look at them? They are absolutely incredible. I feel like Phil talking some shit about him. Definitely he heard it and got fired up. But yeah, so this card is, I'm sure we've talked about it. If you ever watch Jeff and I over on our Blabbin channel, we talk about this card. He just hit the game-winning hit off a hater against the Brewers in 2019, pumping his chest. There aren't a lot of on-card autos. This is just your base Stadium Club auto, but this isn't like a mass-produced Stadium Club auto. And it's a pretty historical shot for Soto. I love this card. I was watching this. I was looking at other things at the same time. Someone scooped this bad boy up for like $250 on eBay, which to me feels like 10 years from now, I think copies of this card will be non-existent in terms of availability. I think this card's awesome. I don't know. Ty, do you have one of these?
No, not the auto. No.
You've got a parallel, don't you? Like as a fellow Stadium Club lover, I feel like you have one of these cards.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, it's very.
I have a lot of the essentials when it comes to the refractors and other things. So,
yeah, it's just such a cool image. Again, unless you're a Brewers fan or if you're Josh Hader.
Yeah, well, I can still appreciate it, but yeah, it does bring back some rough memories of that moment.
I also wanted to show. I feel like I haven't talked about Freddie Freeman on this channel for a little while, and
maybe that's why he's been struggling.
Maybe that is why he has been struggling. I don't know if you
Phil to talk crap about him, and then he'll light it up.
All right, allow me to do that because about a month ago he was leading the NL in hitting. He was up to like 380. He is today at like 306. In an absolutely incredible month-long tailspin. I was watching one of his at-bats yesterday against the Royals, and the Dodgers announcer was just talking about how he talked to Freeman before the game, and he's never seen him struggle like this. It's one of the worst stretches of his career. Mm-hmm. And it was actually, I wish I had the soundbite, but he was like, Freeman's one of those guys though, where one at bat can turn the whole thing around. He can snap out of this real quick. Pause. It won't be here though, as he strikes out on 3 pitches. Like, oh, man. But I just wanted to show one of these sold yesterday. This is his Golden Mirror. And I just wanted to give this an example. I know we have some people in our comments who are just like, images don't matter, you guys, blah, blah, blah. But this card has routinely stayed above like 250, 275. This one sold for 335. And it makes me happy to see people really embrace like an amazing World Series trophy image. This card is now outselling the infamous Ohtani podium card or podium Golden Mirror from Series 1. But I think this card is great. I would love to get more copies of it. You can see, I can still see the teeth, even though this picture is small. But anyway, let's try to get Freeman out of this slump that he's in because it's brutal to watch.
I just while we're talking about batting average dropping, and we've got Raptor here. Mm-hmm. Remember when we made those Judge predictions? He's already dropped below where your predicted end would be, Raptor.
I was just looking at that and thinking about that. I was actually just looking at his month over month. So in April, he hit 415. In May, he hit 364, and in June, he's hitting 256. So it's
the trend is
I mean, he's human. It's gonna happen.
Yeah. And the BABIP was pretty unsustainable, and
Of course.
Yeah. Freeman's got a 174 average in June.
Oof. Yeah, the June swoon, the June gloom, whatever you want to call it.
A 217 slugging.
Yeah. Oh, it's
God,
terrible.
So bad.
It's terrible. I mean, he is just something happened mechanically. I don't know. He's just completely off, and you can tell like the frustration. He doesn't really show emotion on the field very much, but man, he is. Some of these at bats, it looks like he's ready to just put his bat through a wall or something afterwards.
Yeah.
And especially that I thought that Colorado series would be the one to get him out.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I think it was 1 for 13 in that series. It was brutal.
Yeah.
I mean, just yeah.
All right, what do you got here on the screen? This looks like a beautiful specimen.
Yeah, at the other end of the spectrum of guys not struggling, we have Acuna since he came back. This is his update, his black parallel in a PSA 10, extremely low pop card. I actually don't know what the pop is on this, Jeff. It's got to be under 5.
I think it's around 5, if I remember correctly, because I just saw one of these at Fanatics Fest.
Oh, this one just sold on eBay. It was listed at $9,999 or best offer, and it sold for best offer. And it's just really clean. Like a lot of some of these PSA 10s from 2018, you can see a little bit of white here or there, and it makes you kind of curious. But this one just looks incredible. Do you guys? Jeff knows, but Ty, do you want to take a shot at what offer was accepted here?
Yeah, while he's thinking about it, it does look beautiful, and it looks well worth the 10. It's frustrating when you see
slow pop
10s have white corners in these.
I'd guess somewhere, if it was listed at, I guess somewhere between 6,000 and 7,000. That's what I would guess.
Yeah, I mean that's good work.
There's a broad range, maybe, but
no, I mean you're right in there. I think it went for about 6,400. I think
50, 6,450, something like that.
Nice.
Yeah, so you're right there, Ty, and which is both simultaneously seems like a good deal and seems like a really high sale. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, somehow you're right, Jeff. Somehow it does kind of fit both of those.
So some guy had a he had the Soto, the Tatis, and the Acuna all in a row in the bottom of a showcase with no price stickers on them, and he was busy.
All gems, just showing
all PSA 10s.
Nice.
Wow.
Yep.
Yeah, we've talked about the design of the 2018 parallels, and that's sort of the peak of the black parallel design, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just like looking at this card, so that's why I left it up as long as I did.
No, it's good. And speaking of hot, like you said, Acuna's been playing like a house on fire. He's committed to being in the home run derby.
Yeah.
At the All-Star game. You as an Atlanta fan, there's not a lot that's went right, but you couldn't have hoped for a better return from Acuna coming back from this injury.
No, he's really the only offensive player worth watching. Like I watch him and Olsen, and then I kind of change the channel for a little bit. Scream into a pillow for 20 minutes and wait for them to come back up. It's been a little bit tough.
All right. So,
Ty, did you want to talk about your
I want to talk about the release price of Topps Dynasty and how crazy that is. I obviously have been very high on Dynasty for over a year now, talking about what I thought the potential was for it, and I've been right. There's just no way around it. Like the cards in general have continued to go up, especially RPAs, and this sudden spike in the box prices stands to alienate a lot of people, but also just put that much more juiced into the highest of high end. Like people are talking about this product now. Pac-Man is now switching over to be a Topps fanboy now that Topps is getting the licenses and he has to move away from Panini, and was recently doing a Dynasty product talking about how it's his favorite high-end product, which I'm sure he said in the past about Flawless and Immaculate and everything else. So but it is a very popular product. The release price, $2,000 MSRP for a single card. Ooh-wee. Let's talk about ultimate risk reward. You can definitely get a payday on some of those cards, but You're probably not gonna on most, and I hope Scotty does another breakdown video like he did last year of like watching breaks and showing what the average ROI is, because I saw a Leighton break. It's a 5-box case. I think it's a 5-box case.
Yeah, it's 5 bucks.
They were doing so it's like 10K a box or a case, right? And in one of them they hit 5 like very good cards. I think there was a 1-of-1 of some, I don't know, retired legend, Hall of Famer. They had, I think, an Ohtani. I think they might have had 2 Ohtanis, like a numbered to 5 and a numbered to 10. And like somebody in the comments was like, probably still didn't get your money back. And they might have been right. Like really good case. But if you're not hitting the top chases in it,
Chris and I did a video on this. If you guys haven't watched it and need more card content, check out Blabbin' About Slab. And we did a video on this where we looked at the checklist, and there are a lot of names on that checklist that you'd not be happy with pulling out of a $2,000 box. Anthony Volpe, Anthony Rizzo, Ozzie Albies, even some of the better players, they're Hall of Famers like Tom Glavine. None of those are going to get you anywhere close to a return on your box. So, it's tough. It's a tough proposition. It's alienating a lot of collectors. But like you said, Ty, in a couple of the videos that you've made on SCI and the market movers, the general rising of the prices seems to be only increasing as these licenses are coming over in 2025 and 2026 from NBA and NFL. So I don't see an end in sight to it.
This is crazy. Bregman has 10 different cards.
Yeah, we said 169 Bregman autos you could pull out of here.
Oh my gosh.
I mean, you look through that list.
Rizzo.
Look at all those Rizzos.
Austin Riley, Anthony Volpe, Adley Rushman, like.
I mean, even the cards even a Bobby Witt. So Ty, we looked, Colt Keith. Colt Keith caught some strays in our video, but Chris and I looked at some of the best-selling rookies from previous classes. Corbin Carroll's aren't even going for 2,000. His rookie RPAs, Gunners, most of them aren't going for that either. So it's like even the best you get.
It does make you think though. So you look at this and you snap up. This is a screenshot in the prices, and these breaks are selling. I mean, people are buying into these breaks, and they're chasing.
Which is crazy because you're mostly getting nothing, right? How is that Leighton break broken down, Ty? Did they buy?
I don't know. It didn't say. I don't know. I think it was like a random team. Like you just pay. Maybe they split it up amongst 30 teams, and you pay a price, and then hope that one of the 5 cards is your team, and hope that it's worth whatever you paid for the spot. I don't know.
Chris calls it the ultimate lottery ticket product, and that seems
Smoltz. So like guy like Smoltz is in like every single year of Dynasty, and he has some pretty sick cards. That's one of the few Dynasty cards. I now own 3 Dynasty cards. I bought this Torkelson on alt like a month ago, and I think it's pretty sweet. But and it's a rookie. But I don't know. I don't know what to make of this when you see this. By the way, I probably didn't expect it, but there's still to this day not a Tarek Skubal Dynasty card in existence, which is, I don't think he signs a lot anymore, and it's kind of frustrating. But
that is too bad.
There's a lot of names in here that are definitely not.
I mean, a Trey Turner, Scott Rowland, Sammy Sosa.
This is just filler. Holy cow! I would be curious to see what these go for.
Yes, there are some cool cards, and the Jason Tatum with the Cardinals is probably cool. But I said I'm a Brewer fan, and I don't want to sell Frelick auto out of my $2,000 box.
Yeah, I know. Actually, I watched like 5 or 6 Leighton breaks, and then Pac-Man's, and like one other one, I think. And I saw 2 Sal Freelicks out of those cases. So it's just like, congratulations,
Brewers. Sign up for the Brewers. You're hoping to get a nice Cheerio, and then you get a.
I saw Mason win 1-of-1, and is like, does it get you your money back? No. Probably not. 2,000.
Even these Trouts now.
Yeah.
There's 8.
But so like the thing to think about with this is
Marco
this
Luciano.
is the new. So this is the new price. So when the boxes come out at 2,000, 2,200 a box, I think that like almost automatically raises the floor price of even a lot of like, maybe not the like, no pun, scrubbiest of scrubs, but some of them it does.
We'll find out, Ty.
I think we'll find out. It raises the perception, at least. Man, Kyle Schwarber, gosh, it's terrible. But I would be curious if if Wyatt Langford comes out of this product and people are sort of looking at it in a vacuum as like they don't have that context of like looking at Corbin Carroll prices and others, and somebody goes out there and pays $5,500 for a Wyatt Langford, all of a sudden the Carrolls and stuff like start looking pretty good. Like it can lift that market. It's happened in the past with other products that get hot and sexy and people get
But who's
super
going to
excited
pay
about it. So.
$5,500 for a Wyatt Langford? Even Mrs. Langford's like, no
look,
way.
Look at what his MLB debut patch just did. 180K was it? 155, something like that.
I do see what Ty's saying though. Like a couple big sales of these rookies should raise up other rookies, but it's not going to raise up the Michael Harris second year.
Yeah,
Ty,
I wish.
Go ahead. I'm sorry, Jeff. Go ahead. I have a checklist thing I want to ask Ty.
I was just going to say I wish Scott was here too, because he's been over the past few weeks or months been talking about how Definitive has almost taken over Dynasty's place as being a better product. It has patches from specific days that are on the card and easily traceable, identifiable feats. So he's been kind of saying that's almost taken over, but with this price and the hype that this is getting, it's kind of blowing it out of the water. All right, Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just tired. You have the checklist still pulled up. Could you search? There's a dual auto in there. I just wanted to get your opinion on and how this card exists or why this card exists. In the duals, this is a 2024 product. Okay. So it should have come out last year, but there's a dual auto of Freeman and Kirk Gibson. So either this card is like a really great, I don't know, future seeing type of thing that Topps was able to pull off, or they're almost giving us like a 2025 card in a 2024 set, if that makes sense. Like what is that? What's that card going to look like? Are they going to reference the World Series home run, even though this set technically should have come out, I don't know, before he hit it? I don't know. I'm curious what this card is going to look like.
I mean, yeah, I'm sure this was probably coordinated after the World Series.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I don't know what that would reference. I mean, can you imagine if that did have a piece of his jersey from that game or anything? I don't know if it's a baseball or what, who knows what it would be. Even if it's not, even if it was from the series, the World Series or the playoffs, it'd be
pretty awesome, right?
It'd be pretty insane. I don't know. I don't know. I saw what was the duel? I saw a duel get hit. It was, this is pretty funny actually. Bolt
a lot of
Ellie
Strouds on there.
I saw one of these get pulled. I forget.
The Acuna Chipper 1/1 was pulled. There was a video of that going around Instagram. I think Jeff sent it to me, or maybe
and I was asking Chris if he thought that would even come close to paying for a box.
I don't know if that would net $2,000 on release week. Maybe
it might.
Years from now, probably not. But yeah, I really want to see this Freeman Gibson card. So if any of you guys watching this video happen to see that get pulled, please screenshot it and send it to me. I'd love to see what that looks like.
Yeah.
Yeah. By the way, we had talked about the design of this a few months ago when we first saw it teased out with the graphics, and I think it actually looks amazing. The like ones are actually like the worst looking in my opinion. Like it doesn't look terrible, but the yellow, but some of the other ones that are just like the base design look really cool. Like here's let me see, I'll pull this one up. Oops.
There's definitely some cool cards.
That Cold Keith looks really good. It's got like cool shadowing on it, and like the foil looks really nice. Like they actually look really good. I've kind of changed my tune on the design of the set this year. I think it looks pretty sharp.
But man, if you're hunting for Cold Keith, you just want to get singles.
If you want a Colt Keith, you're gonna just buy it on the on the secondary market for $400.
Absolutely,
it's gonna be. So.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Here was the one I saw. Trout. I saw a Trout and Pujols was one of the duels that I saw pulled, which is pretty sweet.
Again, a very cool card. But you pull that out of a box. It sucks if you pull that out of a box and you're disappointed.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you're probably really excited, but then you might, see sales prices and realize you shouldn't be quite as excited as you thought you should be. But that's still pretty cool. You got two guys there's like 6 MVPs on that card, so that's pretty cool. Yeah. Even if it doesn't cover $2,000, that's still a really cool card.
Yeah. I don't know.
All right, Chris, did you want to show anything else?
Yes, I just wanted to show this one card as we wrap up here. This recently sold on eBay, and a couple people sent this to me on Instagram. And I want to ask you guys if you think this was done on purpose, or if there's three choices here. This was either done on purpose, it's a mistake, or it's actually not a mistake and it just looks like a mistake. So let the suspense dig in. So this is Cal Raleigh's 2022 Stadium Club, his chrome insert parallel auto with a sticker. But if we look at that sticker, I think that's a Cal Ripken Jr. sticker on this Cal Raleigh card. So it makes me wonder. Well, I'll make it bigger there. A, is this Cal Ripken Jr. or is it Cal Raleigh? Well, what do you guys think?
That's definitely Cal Ripken Jr.
Okay, that's what I think too. So now the question is, did this happen by accident? Because there's no universe where Cal Raleigh and Cal Ripken Jr. their autos shouldn't be on the same sheets, right?
No, this has got to be like a manufacturer. Somebody stuck the wrong Cal onto the wrong card.
This is a theory, a working theory that I have. I have absolutely no proof of this. I think the person putting the Cal Raleigh stickers on dropped the sticker or messed the sticker up somehow. And they got the idea, Cal Ripken's signature looks somewhat similar. I bet if I throw that on here, I'll get away with this. Like no one will know. So I don't know.
I think
it was
probably
made at the company and they tried to cover it up, the person, by just grabbing another similar looking.
Yeah. That's my working theory here. Because I just can't imagine someone actually confusing the two players, or their autographs would be close, located in a similar place for Topps.
Somebody else. I need one more sticker. It's Cal R. And
I just get another Ripken. Thousands of those.
Yeah, Cal Ripken. Great.
I can't even find any other versions of that card. That's the frustrating thing about Stadium Club and Stadium Club Chrome from when they had them separate, is you can't. There's no way to search them separately when it is Chrome.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes, you can't find another one of that.
I just found one from May. Okay. Oh, actually, the person listed the title as Cal Ripken Auto Error Cal Raleigh Rookie Card.
I think that's probably the same one that I have pulled up here.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize the title said that on yours, but
I love to think about the Topps employee that did this. When Cal Raleigh starts getting hot and he's hit his 30th home run, that Topps employee is like, "Oh boy, I really hope
nobody's going to care about Cal Raleigh." Oh, they are going to care about Cal.
I hope that card I screwed up doesn't get any more attention. I hope I don't get in trouble. And
how much did it sell for anyway?
That's a great question. Hold on.
And who would buy it? Would a Cal Raleigh collector or a Cal Ripken collector?
It was up for $199 or best offer. I'm not sure what it sold for. We could check market movers.
So what's really funny about this is that Cal Ripken did have the 1991 variation autos in that in 2022 Stadium Club. They're on card, so it'd be funny if they used his stickers and then they're like, "Hey, Cal, we need you to just go ahead and sign these cards."
I just have stuff like this is fascinating. I want to know how it happens. But anyway.
Humans, that's how it happens.
Yeah. Yep. There's still that human element.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well, thank you for joining us. If you need more content, we do have a Patreon where we dig a little deeper into topics every week and also do a live once a month. So please check that out as a way to get more content or support us if you feel like it. Thank you to those of you who have done that already. Please check us out on our other channels. Ty's got a lot of stuff on Market Movers, and Chris and I have a lot of stuff going on with Blabbin' About Slabbin'. So please check that out. And until next time, happy collecting. Take care.